Time to get to the no half step in hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. Time for operation number 723 for the Renegades of Puck. That's right, show number 723. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves sitting in 5th place in the Central Division. They've skated in 59 games this season. They have a record of 30, 23, and 6. 66 points, again, has them 5th overall in the Central. The Nashville Predators have a road record of 14, 12, and 3, have scored 172 goals in the season, given up 175. That's a goal differential of -3. I mentioned the Predators' road record because their next game will take place not only in the Central Division, but on the road in Chicago. The Blackhawks are 8th overall in the Central Division. They have a record of 21, 35, and 5. 47 points has them 19 points behind the Nashville Predators on home ice. They only have 12 victories on the season. 17 and 3 is the rest of the record. They've scored 152 goals, but they have given up 222 goals against. That is a goal differential of -70 on the season at this point. Now, before we get any further into the matchup, let's talk about the Central Division itself and get you updated on the most recent standings. The Dallas Stars continue to be in first place, 79 points on the season. The Minnesota Wild are in second place with 74 points. Colorado Avalanche in third with 73 points. Winnipeg then in fourth place with 72 points. Then you'll find the Predators at 66, St. Louis at 57, Arizona at 51, and the Blackhawks at 47. Now, for the Nashville Predators, they are in the middle of one incredibly long road trip. Once they wrap up this game against Chicago, they will play again Monday night at Vancouver, late night start local for the Central Time Zone, Thursday in Arizona, and then on the 11th in LA, the 12th in Anaheim. And that will wrap up the road trip. They'll be back home on the 14th of March to take on the Detroit Red Wings. Now, for the Predators and the Chicago Blackhawks, this is the second of 3 meetings on the regular season. They'll meet up one more time in March. That will be on the 16th when Chicago will be in Nashville for their only appearance this season. The other time these two teams met this season was back on December the 21st when the Preds were also in Chicago. Preds scored a 4-2 victory. UC Saros came away with the win, 37 out of 39. The captain, Roman Josi, a goal and 1 assist for 2 points. Parsonen also had 2 assists in that game. For the Blackhawks, their most recent stretch of hockey in their most recent 5 games, we go back to February the 22nd, a 4-3 victory at Dallas. Follow that up on the 25th with a 4-3 shootout win at San Jose, and then things kind of fall apart. On the 27th, a 4-2 loss at Anaheim, follow that up with a 4-1 loss at Arizona, and most recently a 5-2 loss versus the Dallas Stars. Mrazek got the start, took the loss, 31 out of 34 in that game. Now, between these two teams, the Nashville Predators and Chicago Blackhawks, the statistical metrics and the NHL rankings, well, they are not particularly attractive, but it should be a somewhat competitive game between these two teams, considering where the Predators are at in a rebuild mode suddenly. Goals for the Preds, 2.86 on the season, is 25th overall in the NHL, while the Blackhawks, 2.47 goals per game, is 32nd, dead last in the league. Goals against, 12th in the league for the Preds at 2.95, 27th in the NHL for Chicago at 3.58. When it comes to shots for, 30.5 for the Preds on net is 21st overall in the NHL, while Chicago was 31st overall in the NHL, generating only 27 shots per game. Shots against, the Preds are 26th in the league, 33.6 given up per game, while the Chicago Blackhawks are giving up 33.8 per game. That is 29th overall in the league. I told you these numbers weren't going to be particularly attractive. The power play for the Nashville Predators, 25th overall in the NHL, 18.9%, 35 out of 185 opportunities. The Blackhawks power play, 17.8%, 27th in the NHL, 31 out of 174 opportunities. On the penalty kill, Chicago Blackhawks are rated 21st overall in the league, 76.6% kill rate, while the Preds are 13th overall in the league, 81% kill rate, 38 power play goals given up. And for the Nashville Predators, of course, there's been a significant amount of news. If you have missed any of it, we have chronicled each and every one of those stories in each and every one of the episodes that has come up this week. But for the Nashville Predators, it has been an incredibly busy week. So if you've missed anything, you're just going to have to go back and catch up by checking out our previous episodes. Most recently, Mikael Granlund has been dealt to the Pittsburgh Penguins for a second-round draft pick. That is an incredible return for Mikael Granlund, who frankly has lost his edge and is no longer the player that the Nashville Predators had signed to a somewhat long-term contract. So Mikael Granlund and his contract are moved on to Pittsburgh for a second-round draft pick, and injuries continue to be a big story. Most recently, Carrier leaves the game and he is now day-to-day. Parsonen, day-to-day. Forsberg skating, but still listed as day-to-day. Johansson and Borowiecki, of course, on injured reserve. When it comes to the individual statistics for each of these squads, the Nashville Predators and the Chicago Blackhawks will go with the top 5, but there's something really weird about the top 5 for both of these teams when it comes to statistics. And what it is, well, most of these players are no longer on these teams, but I'm still going to give you the list. For the Blackhawks, Domi, now on Dallas, 18 goals, 31 assists for 49 points. He was the Blackhawks' leading scorer. Patrick Kane was the second leading scorer on the Blackhawks. He is now on the New York Rangers, 16 goals and 29 assists for 45 points. Taves is still on the Blackhawks and still their captain, 14 goals and 14 assists for 28 points. Seth Jones at 7 and 21 for 28, and Radish 14 and 12 for 26. In net, Mrazek 8, 17 and 2, 8.91 save percentage, 3.80 goals against average for the Nashville Predators. The captain, Roman Josi, has been on an absolute tear as of late. 17 goals and 39 assists now for 56 points. Matt Duchene, 19 goals and 31 assists for 50 points. And Matt Duchene ties Philip Forsberg for the team lead in goals. Philip Forsberg out still day-to-day, 19 goals as well, 23 assists for 42 points. Mikhail Granlund no longer with the Nashville Predators, now in Pittsburgh, 9 goals and 27 assists. Nino Niederreiter now with the Winnipeg Jets, 18 goals and 10 assists for 28 points. That was for the Nashville Predators. UC Saros on the season record of 23, 17 and 5, 9.16 save percentage, 2.79 goals against average. And Kevin Lankinen, 7-5 and 1 now, 9.22 save percentage, 2.58 goals against average after his most recent start, which we are going to cover in full detail in the full game recap coming up momentarily. We call it the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap with Nashville Predators and Florida Panthers. Let's go down towards the Miami area and let's break it down a full 60 coming up in the next segment.